This is another fact. Jay McInnes loves to babble on and hand movements.
I articulate what needs to be said.
Fiction is that he articulates well and quickly. What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's McInnes Marketing Minute. This is video take number
8?
I don't know, like 50.
58,
because our microphones have been less
non-cooperative
than cooperative is the more polite word I'll use this time around. So yeah, here we are finally, eventually, and we are carrying on our conversation from last week, which is a bit more market focused though this week. So the title of this week's blog, podcast, video, however you are tuning in, is Downturn Market, Fact or Fiction. What do you make about that?
It's a good title.
Good title.
Relevant title.
Yep. So first and foremost, guys, it's really windy, so sorry if there's a bit of a draft coming through. But first of all, just for all of our YouTube commenter lovers out there, we are not saying that it's not a downturn and the market is hot. We know you're dying to type it out and to hit post, but sorry to ruin that one. We're just going by facts. So I think starting off, everyone thinks of a downturn as apocalyptic almost. Buildings are blowing up, fires, it's kind of like World War Z or World War Z, like a real life Walking Dead. Nobody's buying or selling everything. Everyone's lucky to be alive, let alone buying or selling.
Exaggerated.
No, it's 100% true, and it's not exaggerated in any way, shape or form.
People believe that when it's going up forever, and when it's going down, it's going to zero. And a lot of people right now, specifically a lot of our commenters, are under the impression that it's going all the way. And I don't believe that, but again, we speak what we see and what the real estate board statistics are telling us.
Yeah, and so the reality of it is in a downturn market, Vancouver looks like the following. Is what you can see here: beautiful blue skies. People are still alive and well. It's not pouring down rain. There's no frogs falling from the sky. Noah's Ark is not coming through, etc., etc. Things still move, providing they're priced appropriately.
Keyword.
Yep.
Key phrase.
Key phrase indeed. However, we are not denying there has been a significant downturn, and arguably more so coming for that luxury market. There has for sure been a significant downturn, but it's important to not just classify in one kind of statistic. So what's the one they're throwing around right now about?
March sales numbers were at the same low levels as in 1986.
Okay, and that's just sales and listings, right?
That's the sales that took place in the month of March have not been at record lows, that low since 1986.
Okay, so again,
the generalist market of Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean the most general view that you can get over it, that's just on listings and sales. There's nothing to that. That's not even breaking it down into condos.
That's not even a listings to sales
area
ratio reflection. It's the number of sales.
Yeah. So it has 100% gone down. However, so here's some statistics for you, just to put this in perspective.
Keeping in mind, the Vancouver market right now starts at 300,000 for things probably not worth buying, for the most part, to 40 million.
Yeah.
So there's a slight window that this whole...
You're telling me there's not one phrase or one statistic that sums up perfectly every part of Vancouver real estate?
It's a slight, yeah.
Crazy?
There's a couple of price points to take into consideration. But anyway,
okay, so
on to your next point.
So to prove this, and I'll test you here, because I don't think you actually know the answers to this. So...
This is premeditated?
Premeditated. I've been thinking about this for weeks, for the right time to bring this up.
Oh, great. Okay.
So let's take... Is it still recording?
Yeah.
Let's take Yaletown condos.
Oh yeah, she's still gone.
Still going?
Let's go. Test away.
Let's take Yaletown, price point is 700,000 and below, just for March 2016, so peak market. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. It's 35. That's right beyond age.
Okay. So anyway, March 2016, Yaletown only, homes under 700,000. What do you think the average time on market was for a home to sell? These are all just going by solds, not active and then pulled off, just solds.
14 days.
Incorrect, 11 days.
So under 2 weeks. Okay.
Okay, so moving forward 2 years, so March 2018.
Okay.
So just after that downturn started to come, in downtown anyway. Yeah. Same, Yaletown, average time on market, 700,000 and below. Before sold, how long is that?
21 days.
9 days.
Okay.
Okay, fast forward April 2019. So at the height of the down, again, same statistics, how many days on average to sell?
I wish we had a one-bedroom Yaletown buyer right now. You know these numbers. 35 days.
5 days. So it's actually
Okay.
quicker now than it was in April 2016 at the height of the market. So
Average days on market.
average days on market, and this goes back to our point, guys. This is just Yaletown, home $700,000 and below. This is one small segment in the market. There are so many other variables that contribute, but
Also to that point, unless you're in that segment of the market,
you don't know that.
well, you don't know that, and it shouldn't matter to you.
Yeah.
If you're going to buy into that, great. If you're going to sell out of that, great. If you own a $2 million condo in the West End, it's totally irrelevant.
Yeah, you don't care.
Which is as irrelevant as the lowest sales since 1986.
Yeah, you need to be focusing on your particular segment, and there may be a huge downturn in your segment.
Or there may not be.
Or there may not be. Likelihood there is, but even if there is, it means you need to adjust what your beliefs are to what the market is showing you. So point is you can't just summarize by one statistic as to what the market is doing. If you were to just go by that one that I gave you, you would think it's a hot market and everything's bustling and moving on. To the point, very different. So a phrase which I'm quite a fan of is market correction, because, and this is something we've spoken about between us, the market is really people like you and I, so this is buyers, sellers, even realtors here, and the correction is talking about pricing. So I mean, real estate is never right or wrong. If a price is overinflated and it's selling, or it's or it's come down and it's selling, it's not right, it's not wrong, it just is. Real estate just is. The market being us and our expectations are what are being corrected. So the people who are winning in this market, both buyers and sellers, are those who are acknowledging that, and their expectations are being corrected to reflect the current market. And those are the people who are winning.
Yeah, if they actually want to get something done by way of buying or selling, for sure.
So back to the title of this video, Downturn Market, Fact or Fiction. So a few facts that we have. One, first fact. I'm not joking. One, places are still selling. A common misconception right now is that just nothing is moving at all, and there's all of these listings on the market, which is true, but nothing is being sold at all. That's incorrect.
Caveat on that. If you're a buyer right now and you think, oh, I saw that it's the lowest sales since 86, and you're headline reading the generic information, and you're in that Yaletown under 700 pocket, there's a vast difference. Now, not that prices haven't come down from the peak, but to assume that that headline is relative to your little micro market that you're trying to get into or want to get into would be very wrong. And as these, on average, 5 days on market as sales happen, these are now creating new benchmarks. And if those are keeping the market afloat, or if those are even benchmarking down or starting to go up again, you need to really hyper-focus, find an agent that's specifying in that and hyper focus on the information that's applicable to you. I think that's a huge misconception. People are headline reading a lot and just blanketing the entire market with sales are all down. It's not happening. And they are down, but some segments of the market are moving.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
fact.
on to your next fact.
You're like a mime when you talk.
I'm articulating for the people. They appreciate it, I'm sure. Please comment if you appreciate my articulation.
Tell me you don't appreciate all this unnecessary
It's
hand
all
movement.
necessary.
But yeah, fact, property is selling, providing it's adjusted to what the current market statistics are showing. 2,
Another 2 cents. Current market statistics are active and sold relative comparables. That's it. Thank you.
continue to babble,
That's
continue
it.
to babble,
That
please.
I think a lot of people miss that, and there's anticipation of what gaps in the market mean percentage-wise, but the active and sold comparables are what tells the actual story.
Okay,
Sorry, again, go.
Let's try and do this. Fact, property is selling in this market.
Of course.
Next fact, buyers, if you see something that you like, you need to move on it. And that's including price as well. If it's in a price point that you're happy with and you'd be happy paying that, however, you just want to see if that price is going to come down even more, you run the risk of losing that property, because if you like it, I'm sure somebody else does, and if it's in line with where the current market is at, there are going to be people that jump on it. 3, this should show you that, give you the incentive as a seller as to the possibility, if you adjust to current market value, you could potentially be on the market and be off the market still very quickly, because property is still moving. Fact. Fiction is the thought that nothing is selling at all and prices are going to keep drastically coming down. 2, buyers, yes, you do have more time to include subjects and things like that, but you don't have all the time in the world to sit back. Like we said, going back to that fact point, if it's right, you need to move on it. 3, this is another fact, Jay McInnes loves to babble on and hand movements.
I articulate what needs to be said.
Fiction is that he articulates well and quickly. So guys, that is us for this week. Thank you for joining.
Another little add-on I want to add on top of all this, as you're buying and selling in the current market, always keep in mind, and I know a lot of people forget about this, we talk to sellers all the time that want to sell and move on, buy up or buy down, but if you're buying and selling in the same market, your money is still worth the same as if it was in the peak market. A lot of people can't get their head around, a year ago I could have sold this at $1 million, now it's worth 900. I wanted to buy at $1.1 million, now that's worth $1 million. So the gap is still there. It doesn't matter at what level. If you're selling and then buying, it doesn't matter what the numbers are. The same gap is in place for you to laterally move across this market. So again, keep those peak numbers out of your head because they're irrelevant now. Just keep in mind what you're doing, what direction, and the relevant facts will guide you.
So what you're trying to say, if in the peak market your home was worth 800,000 and the home you wanted to buy was worth $1 million, that's a gap of 200,000.
Yeah.
Now if your home is worth 600,000 and that same home you want to buy is now worth 800,000, that's still a gap of 200,000. The end number doesn't matter.
Correct.
So in 3 sentences, I've summarized your entire few paragraphs.
I think there's some people
and
that
unnecessary hand movement gestures with all of this.
I think
Look
there's
like
some
you're in
people
a
that
recipe.
appreciate the articulation, hand and mouth together. That's all.
Okay, well, we'll leave the comments to see what happens
We will.
there. So, okay, that's it. We're out next week. Ciao.